I'm basically in a relationship with Lewis McClung at this point with how many videos I've been making about him. I mean, ever since the breakup with Jake Doolittle, things have been kind of rough on my end, to be honest. The milking, the absolute milking of content was just going down the drain a little bit. I was really, to be honest, towards the end of that Jake Doolittle thing, I was really struggling. I was like, oh, man, I need another soy boy to make videos about. But Lewis McClung ended up being even worse.
What is the point, right? To be misogynists? Is that the point?
How is this a real guy? A creator that I've been watching a lot lately called Liquid Sonic made a video about him where he goes over his history of insecurity, pure, unadulterated cringe, and also the fact that there was another false allegation he made. And the way that Lewis responded was, what am I supposed to do? Wait and do my research? I could not believe it.
What do you want me to do? Not jump on a situation and not talk about it because that's my job?
Yes! So today we're gonna watch Liquid Sonic's video, learn more about Lewis McClung and how much of a genius he is. Enjoy. So I, in my free time, big shocker, have been trying to avoid just constantly watching Lewis McClung videos. I've only watched a few of his videos so far. I'd say like 3 at this point, but I'm sorry, the content's too good, dude. You see the views I got in that last video about him? If I'm able to point out why someone is a fucking idiot while also getting a bunch of views off of it, you think I'm not gonna do it? Oh, I will. I will. But it's from a content creator they like quite a bit that we've been watching a lot on stream, Liquid Sonic. If you guys aren't subscribed to Liquid Sonic, would recommend it because he's made some good content. He typically has pretty good research. He made a video called Lewis McClung Woman-Coded Commentary, which it looks to me to be more of a breakdown of his past content rather than just the recent thing. And so I'm pretty excited to see what he has to say about him.
Lewis McClung runs a commentary channel here on YouTube that's quite successful. Lewis's channel in particular is part of the woman-coded genre of commentary, meaning he covers TikTok drama, men cheating on their wives, and Onision.
We used to call these guys T-channels. Back in the day, I want to say 3-4 years ago, there was kind of a few different delineations of commentary, which are ultimately meaningless distinctions, but it's just used to like group in people to these little cliques that exist on YouTube, right? There was like the Drew Gooden, Cody Ko types of guys, right? Which I assume now Drew Gooden wouldn't want to be associated with him, but obviously they were all friends back in the day and they did content together, inspired by H3H3, right? Then you had like the art commentary community that was like Creepshow Art, which like kind of no longer exists. Although I'm bringing it back a little bit with the drawing streams. And then you have quote-unquote topic commentary, which is like guys who would do like the gameplay videos in modern day. So think like Jalen, Achido, Sensitive Society, guys like that. And then you had T-channels. And T-channels would cover a different area of drama than the rest of them. They would cover like makeup drama, beauty guru gossip. Think like James Charles, Trisha Paytas, stuff like that. But that genre has kind of died out a little bit now because it's kind of been milked dry. Lewis McClung now exists in this genre of like, he's sort of trying to be Curtis Connor. He's sort of trying to be, I don't know what you would even compare him to, ContraPoints or something. But it is very woman-coded commentary. It's made for women that he can pander to. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Women have to have content too. It just so happens that he is perhaps the worst panderer of all time.
His particular niche is being an inoffensive, unthreatening boy that will affirm female and queer shut-ins in ways such as encouraging them to crochet and reminding them that it's good to bathe.
And whatever you were doing,
dude,
whether
this
it was
sucks.
art, crocheting, drawing, painting.
Why would you pretend like you give a fuck this much? You do not care. Nobody cares. Imagine if I ended every video like, and whatever you were doing, just know that you're doing an amazing job and you are beautiful. You're asexual and you're valid. You're transsexual and you're valid. And I love the fact that you fucking, I don't even know, on Pinterest right now. I love your Tumblr posts. They're amazing. More like low T channel. Something like that. I don't know. I feel like it's just intentionally being low T, though. I doubt if you actually measure my testosterone levels, they're very high, to be honest. I'm probably on the low end of the spectrum. It's more just like, it's like posturing to be a very soft, understanding, sensitive guy, which in and of itself is cringe, but the aesthetics of it aren't the worst part, right? The worst part is that Lewis McClung can't stop slandering people.
Doing something with your hands or your mind beautifully, whatever it was, it looks amazing. I don't care if it's not finished yet. It will be. You will finish it, and it looks great. And
thank you,
dude.
Take
care of yourself, shower, make your bed, clean your room, whatever you got.
Oh, it's so fucking cringe, dude. The audience doesn't need you to say this, okay? You don't need to say this to your fucking viewers. They watch your YouTube videos and then log off. This is like such a cringe way to get the audience attached to you and make them be like, oh, he's such a nice boy. He tells me my art is good.
What to do to make yourself feel better, okay? You deserve it.
Lewis has recently inserted himself in a drama surrounding Danky Jabot, getting a lot of eyes on him from creators here on YouTube. But that isn't really what I am interested in.
Oh.
What I'm interested in is simple. Why is he like this? Why is this one seemingly normal nerdy kid dressed up as an effeminate pirate making the most unbelievably virtuous claims about some other loser commentary guy, all whilst he has a fan set up to make his hair flow in an attempt to look like a camp rock star? Like, look.
That is kind of crazy. I was so focused on how much I hated the words he was saying that I wasn't acknowledging the fact he has a fan pointed at his hair. Like, what are you doing? Do you think this makes your videos better? Do you think it makes you like cool to have like flowing, billowing hair? Why? Effeminate pirate? Well, we call him Jack Swallow on this channel. Okay, we call him Jack Swallow. Who convinced you this is a good idea? You're fucking weird, dude. Okay? You're not standing at the front of a fucking ship on the poop deck. You're in your fucking bedroom.
Look at this thumbnail. Look at the faces this guy pulls.
Oh. Just soy face like me in every thumbnail. Go, ah! That's what you should be doing.
What makes a woman or a member of the LGBT, or anybody for that matter, click on this? Well, I thought it might be fun to have a look through his content from old to new. And
well, it's because it's not even just women or gay people. It's a specific kind of woman, specific kind of gay person who wants to have their opinions validated and repeated back to them and hear some guy being like, you're so valid. Oh my God, you're so valid. I would never say the R slur. Next day, slander someone and calls them a pedophile when they're not one. That's literally what this guy is. He's the epitome of there are no bad tactics. There are only bad targets. Okay. You can pretend to be as virtuous as you want. You can call out anyone you want. As long as they're the right person that you're calling out, any justification, anything against them, you can justify. He wasn't mad that anybody called Dream a pedophile. He didn't call out Nicholas Cantu for calling Dream a pedophile. He called out Dream for leaking the video. He wasn't mad that people have been lying about Dream for years. He was mad that Dream said the word retard. That is the kind of person this is.
And see what I can find. It wasn't fun. For a lot of Lewis's videos, his format is to play 2 or 3 TikTok clips and just yap, yap, yap. It is surprising just how much these videos lack any substance. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves and look back at some of the old content. Lewis usually covers modern and popular trends and drama through the eyes of someone that seemingly only ever watches TikTok. So we're going to start with this one, the most useless podcast ever made. And he's looking at the Stiff Socks podcast, and it looks like total shit. So he's got something to work with on this one. Let's see where he takes it.
All they did the entire episode with Matt Rife is just objectify women and then talk about the fruits that they would want to pipe. What is the point of that? What is the point, right? To be misogynists. Is that the point?
Big surprise, I know. This is a good topic for a video. There is so much criticism you can give to these types of podcasts. And all he has is misogyny. Come on, Lewis, there's got to be something else.
On Trevor Wallace's Wikipedia page, it says that he is Jewish.
Whoa, okay. I didn't take you for the
Oh,
type of person
shit.
that goes on Wikipedia.
Well, calling him out, naming him and shaming him, bro? What the I didn't expect that. Lewis McReich, dude? I didn't expect that to be the case at all.
To look up who's Jewish or not, but go ahead. And also in this video, Lewis talks about what he thinks makes content valuable.
Commentary is meant to give perspective about something that needs perspective. What these two men think about how women look and what they...
That's such an interesting insight into who he is. Commentary is meant to give perspective to something that needs perspective. What perspective are you bringing to the table? Once again, this guy thinks that his opinion is so worthy of hearing that his opinion alone is all you need. He does not do research on anything. He does not back up his claims with facts. He does not adequately represent situations. He remembers things that he saw on Twitter and Reddit, and he compiles it into a video with no screenshots, with no clips, with no proof of anything that actually happened. And he just spews bullshit. He thinks that every word in his mind is gospel. I assume that his mother gave him too much love as a child and didn't ignore him enough. I assume that's why he is this way.
They feel about that is not important to anybody but them. What are they adding to the overall situation that they are...
What are you adding to the overall situation, Lewis? What life experience do you have that's so worthy of listening to? What about your content is so inherently good? Is it just because you made it?
Commenting on. Are they adding 1, any helpful new information? No. 2,
dude, how ironic of him to say any helpful new information. You just made an entire video misrepresenting every drama the Dream has ever been involved in because you hate him. You just did that. You just fucking did that, bro. It just happened. What new information do you add? They're doing a podcast. You're doing a commentary video. They're doing a podcast where they just spew bullshit about their lives. You're doing a commentary video where you're supposed to be giving like informative information. You're supposed to be educating the audience in your own words. In your response to Danky Jabba, you said, I actually want to be educated and understand and entertain. And, you know, I want to make points from an educated perspective. How are you educated in anything you talk about? The only few videos I've seen of you, you lied about people incessantly.
Any new stances that you can take on the subject? Absolutely not. Or 3, information of any kind that is new to anybody.
How ironic is that, given the Dream video was just him regurgitating bullshit he heard from other people? This guy's like a walking hypocrisy.
Lewis, what about being entertaining? He's pretty much saying, and this is going to come up again, if you aren't virtue signaling for the same causes that I am, then you shouldn't be making any content. The main episode of Stiff Socks that Lewis is criticizing has, as a guest, Matt Rife. At one point in time, you could have seen Lewis and Matt being allied in some way, because Matt Rife is mostly known as a woman-coded TikTok comedian, and this started to get to him. So he decided to try to change his persona and to try to become known as one of the 250 real comedians. And Lewis, well, he was not happy about that. And
when he says 250 real comedians, what he's referencing there is this like very cringe thing Joe Rogan said, where he's like, comedians are like a dying race. There's like maybe 250 real comedians left. And then at the top of the list, he just named all of his friends, which in fairness, Joe Rogan is friends with a lot of good comedians. There's truth to that. But Joe Rogan's perspective on comedy and like the philosophy of comedy is like the most cringe thing of all time.
I suspect that's why he made this video on Stiff Socks, and that's why his next video was all about Matt.
Matt Rife, the only response to a bunch of people who may have suffered domestic abuse and therefore did not want to hear you make an uninformed joke about it.
Okay, we need to actually play the joke that Matt made. It was not even bad. Matt Rife, domestic abuse joke. It was literally not bad at all.
This is so cool, man. I wish my grandpa could see this, man. I always wanted to bring him here to visit. He knew how much I loved DC, and he loved Maryland. It was like his favorite state, which you know is a valid response unless you've been to Baltimore, because dude. What the fuck is going on in Baltimore, dude? Bro, Maryland as a state cannot pick a tone, dog. Just pick one. It's so beautiful and so ratchet for no reason. Can y'all just pick a tone, man? All of Maryland. Y'all will drive to the beach with your top down and then go to Baltimore and lock all your doors, dude. Like, you don't, no middle ground ever, man. I've only been to Baltimore one time. I ate lunch there, and the hostess who, like, seats you at the restaurant had a black eye. A full black eye. And it wasn't like, what happened? Yeah, it was pretty obvious what happened. And we couldn't get over the fact that we're like, this is the face of the company? Like, this is who you have greeting people? And my boy who I was with was like, yeah, I feel bad for her, man. I feel like they should, you know, put her in the kitchen or something where nobody has to see her face, you know? And I was like, yeah, but I feel like if she could cook, she wouldn't have that black eye.
Like, what kind of education do you need to make that joke? What kind of education does he need? Does he need to understand that domestic abuse is a serious issue? Do you think that Matt Rife thinks that domestic abuse is a good thing? Or do you think he's just making a joke about women being in the kitchen and making a joke about how, oh, haha, what did she do to deserve getting hit? She probably didn't make a sandwich well, right? Like, it's the most generic joke of all time. This is not like a ground-shattering thing. What education do you need to understand that joke? LS McClung basically thinks that if your joke offends one person, you cannot make that joke. Unless it's a joke about Dream being a pedophile. Like, it's such like a nothing joke. It's like barely offensive. Nobody in the audience even seemed mad at this point in time. But Lewis needs to be like a voice for all the women who have been hit throughout their lives. You can make jokes. That is how we get over serious situations. If every time there's a serious situation, you just hide, you cower in the fucking corner, and every time somebody makes a joke about it, you're like, you can't joke about that, you can't joke about that. You give that situation more power. The way we deal with these things often is through laughter, through comedy. The way people deal with traumatic experiences is through making jokes about it. Do you think that Matt Rife was seriously trying to say with that joke, oh, women need to be punched in the fucking head more? No. He was making a joke.
Something you have no idea what it is like to experience. Something you don't...
You don't have to experience something to make a joke about it. Does this guy get mad at 9/11 jokes because the people who were joking about it didn't die in 9/11? Like, I don't really understand what this guy's issue is. He's just the joke police.
Don't understand. You're a younger aged man who's very well built and has a nice face.
Wait, this is playing into the... I'm realizing something about this guy. Wait. Okay, I'm building a narrative now in my mind, okay? I'm building a narrative that I'm realizing.
Great move, man.
Okay? Do you remember the comment he made about Chad from this video?
The R word, to be specific. A word famous for insensitive pricks using it because other people tell them they can't. Yeah, Chad, calling people that doesn't make you quirky or cool.
Okay, and then watch this.
Joke about it. About something you have no idea what it is like to experience. Something you don't understand. You're a younger aged man who's very well built and has a nice face.
I think this guy's just very insecure. I think he just hates himself. He wishes he was like 6'3" and Matt Rife or something and like really handsome. Which, like, to be clear, LS McClung, it's fine, dude. I'm not 6'3". I don't look like Matt Rife. It's okay. It's all right. Not everybody is. Very few of us are, okay? It's fine. Get the fuck over it. But he seems to have this kind of like insecurity within him where when like a guy who's like good looking and tall makes a joke, he has like a mental breakdown about it.
Everybody wants to be nice to you.
So this is the vibe of this video. He's chastising Matt whilst trying to not let slip that he kind of wants to crawl inside his skin and become him.
Matt,
That's the thing. I think that he has some kind of hatred for dudes who are like stereotypically masculine or something, or like good looking. I think that's it. I don't really know. Like, why did he use the term Chad? Why did he refer to the fact that Matt Rife is like tall and good looking and muscular as if that has anything to do with it? None of these things should even play into this. The way that someone looks should have nothing to do with how they should act. You should not be grouping people into categories based on how they were born and being like, you're a tall white guy, so you can't say that. Hey, Chad. Hey, Mr. Jack Chad, you can't say that. Inferiority complex, it seems like that. It seems like it's kind of like another end of the incel spectrum. Maybe that's why he was projecting the thing he said about Danky Jabbo and how he was such an incel and he's in these incel communities. Maybe that's why he's projecting it. He's like, there's like one kind of incel which like can't get pussy and hates women, but there's one kind of incel that can't get pussy and then bloviates about how much they love women at all times and how they respect them at all times, and they're such a male feminist. That's this kind of guy. I thought we all know he was an insecure soy boy. Yeah, but this is like me seeing it. This is like me having like my suspicion validated in real time. Why even bring this up?
You are a man who is above average when it comes to the looks department. But I do wish I was in your position so I could do it better.
So he made this joke.
What?
You are a man who is above average when it comes to the looks department. But I do wish I was in your position so I could do it better.
Dude, just because you look like how you look doesn't mean you need to dress like this. You can just dress normal. You can just dress normal. You can just dress like Matt Rife. You don't have to be, I kind of feel bad for him now. You don't have to be insecure because you're like 5'8". Nobody gives a fuck, okay? I'm not tall. I'm 5'10". Nobody gives a shit, okay? I have negative canthal tilt, okay? I have a bad jawline. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody cares. You don't have to be insecure about this. It's fine, dude. You're good. It's like a gay cell.
When it comes to the looks department. But I do wish I was in
Nobody even thought about this.
your position so I could do it better.
So he made this joke that Louis upset with, and he also went on Jordan Peterson's podcast.
Basically, Jordan is a weirdo. He's definitely a misogynist, not unlike Matt Rife.
Here we go.
And basically, he just...
Why is Matt Rife a misogynist? Because he made a joke? Because he talks about girls being hot or something? He objectifies them? He talks about their bodies? Is that it? You just kind of objectified him just now by being like, you're such a tall, hot guy, so you think you can get away with saying this. What does that have to do with anything? That should have nothing to do with it.
wants everybody to...
The more I learn about this guy, the more I just am getting sad.
think the wrong way. Honestly, the set for the podcast, by the way, is very nice. And it's only because Jordan Peterson is an extremely rich white man who,
Wait a second, what's that, Louis?
What does him being white have to do with anything? Or rich? The podcast set is nice, but it's only because he's a rich white man. Do you think black people can't have nice sets on their podcast? Do you think black people can't be rich? Do you think black people can't have money? Like, what are you saying? What does that have to do with fucking anything?
And it's only because Jordan Peterson is an extremely rich white man.
You insinuate
He said that about Matt Rife, too. He talked about how he was white. What does this have to do with literally anything? It's because he's a ginger? Based.
that if
Isn't Matt Rife? Is he a ginger? I don't even know. Matt Rife. What is his natural hair color? Is he a brunette? Maybe he's a brunette.
Jordan Peterson was an extremely rich black man, he wouldn't have the same eye for set design that he currently does. Lewis, that take might be a little bit problematic. But don't worry, Lewis is going to win them all back with this next clip.
You're not the main character of a story. You're the villain in everybody else's. You're the leading cause for a lot of mental trauma for people who, yes...
A leading cause for trauma.
Jordan Peterson's leading cause for mental trauma? How? Because he does podcasts? This kid was homeschooled by his mom? Definitely. Maybe his dad is an asshole. Maybe his dad is like stereotypically attractive and he didn't get the genes. I don't know. Count Slopula says, insecure when presented with attractive men, high anxiety, heightened theatrics, admits to not showering a lot and is stinky. Bro needs to find himself. Yeah, he seems like he needs to get off YouTube and like figure out how to be, I don't want to say like a guy and like a masculine red pill, but just find out how to be like a person. Like his insecurity is so brutally transparent.
A woman-coded comedian makes one bad joke, and you're saying that he's a terrible person traumatizing women. Alright, so what advice do you have for Matt?
You could have just made mediocre jokes that made people chuckle a bit on your comedy special.
Yeah, just be unfunny. Just be fucking mid and unfunny instead of saying anything and pushing the boundary. Yeah, this is what these people want. They want people to just be mediocre and unfunny fucking hacks. It's not like the joke that Matt made about women, or about domestic abuse or whatever, was mediocre, by the way. It was like super mid. It was fine. It's just kind of crazy that he made it because he is like a woman-coded audience kind of guy, right? But he would rather things be bad than push the boundary a little bit, be a little edgy, but be actually funny. That's what he would prefer.
People would have been like, yeah, nice. You could have called it natural selection and it just be about how men suck. And everybody would have been like, ah.
Hey Matt, why don't you just make mediocre jokes about why men suck? And you can be like me, and then I can become you.
But before I go any further, today's video is sponsored by Gamer Subs, the best energy drink in the freaking game. They've got a lot of really good flavors, it tastes great, it's way more affordable than other energy drinks or soda, and they also pay me, which is good because it's me. So be sure to use code TOM to get 10% off at gamersubs.gg. Just click the link down in that video description to tap in with the greatest chug juice ever. All right, now back to the video.
What is this?
This is what he wants. He's like, why don't you just be uncontroversial and just make jokes about how guys suck instead of making jokes about women? You can't make jokes about women. Is this guy like, does his mom make his videos? Is his mom like a feminist vegan making his videos? I don't understand what's going on. He just wants everyone to be a fucking loser like him. I just think he's a pathetic loser who blames others for his own insecurities and downfalls. It's pathetic. I mean, yeah, but the psychology goes deeper than that, clearly. Like when he sees like an attractive guy, like Matt Rife, who, make no mistake, I am a gay man. I'll fuck the shit out of Matt Rife. Matt Rife is an attractive guy, right? But when I see an attractive guy, like it doesn't weigh into how I feel about them as a person, right? Like I'm not thinking about that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't weigh into how I feel about what they can or can't say. But this guy's like he's like obsessed with it. He's like obsessed with it.
This peak. This is some Silence of the Lambs type shit. Surely this is scaring the woman that he's trying to court. It's scaring me. If someone gives you this peak, that is your signal to run. Another woman-coded thing he doesn't like is Taylor Swift.
The list of other people who lost a bunch of followers, you know, Taylor Swift, happy to see it. I'm sorry, Swifties, but this was coming. It happened. It needed to happen. Taylor Swift is not a good person. She doesn't advocate for anything that matters.
Hi, non-political person. You're not advocating for the same things that I am. Well then, you're terrible. He also hates all the Dream Minecrafters. He hates Doja Cat. He hates a lot of people. There's a big vibe of, how about you cut off everything you like and just stay here with me? Let's stay in this room together forever and never go outside. Firstly, I'm going to be too scared to look at you directly, so I'm just going to peek through my hands at you. Maybe, anyway, I'm more at the hypothesis stage with that one. But I love a good call to action. And look, I do think he's trying to do this from a good place, and giving is good, okay? So just wait for him to get through the whole call to action before you cast judgment on me showing this.
A bunch of YouTubers like Curtis Connor, Chad, Hassan, all those other people, like 50 YouTubers made a fundraiser for Palestine, for relief, okay? I'll put it down in the description. Please, if you have the time, if you have the money, whatever, go down below and find it and donate to this cause.
We will not be doing that. We will not be doing that. I absolutely will not be doing that. I personally have a lot of other things, like a lot of other causes I need to donate to that I just feel like are kind of taking precedent. You know, like obviously, you know, Palestine is important, but, you know, have you heard this? Have you heard about this cause? Like, come on. This car is an Iron Man. You remember an Iron Man when he drives this car, dude? Pretty sick. Pretty cool. I'm gonna come. So, how expensive is that car, actually? If I wanted an R8. How much is like a used? I'm gonna look up used R8 for sale. How expensive are they? What if I wanted to get like a 2010? Let's see, 34,000 miles, 2008 R8, 90 grand. Okay, that's not so bad. Hey guys, I know you guys care about Palestine and all that stuff, but if you want to donate to my stream right now, just let it be known. Please donate to the R8 for Turkey Tom fund, please, okay?
Please do if you can. It's all happening right now, okay? This is the chance we have to fix everything.
This is so funny. Like, donating to Palestine is probably a good thing. There's people suffering there, but like, this guy fucking thinks that he's like changing the world. This guy thinks that his YouTube videos are changing the world and gonna like fix this conflict. I hate to break it to you, dude. These desert people have been throwing rocks at each other for like thousands of years. You're not gonna end the conflict by raising some money with Hassan Piker and Chad, okay? You're just not.
We're doing it. The people. We are doing something. We are fixing the problems. It's beautiful. It's amazing.
He's so naive, dude. It's kind of adorable how naive he is about the world. He thinks you could just throw money at things and fix it. Thank you, Eviction Notice, for the dono. Thank you. This is not a how-to. All right, for Turkey Tom. Thank you very much, brother. I want this dono refunded if Louis A doesn't have a license, B if he lives in his parents' house. I mean, it's fine if you live at your parents' house. I don't want to shit anyone for that. Like, it can be funny as an insult sometimes, I guess, if somebody's being a hypocrite, but realistically, like, it's way more affordable to live at your parents. I would say you should try to leash off your parents for as long as possible, okay? Push off moving out as long as possible. Even if you're making good money, just push it off, okay? Unless you like need to live alone or you're like sick of living with your parents like to a crazy degree, I would say try to just stay at your parents' house. It's probably rent-free. If they're charging rent, it's probably better than it would be at an apartment. So I think you should do that. It ain't much. Anything's for a good cause. Thank you very much, Dylan Wario. Appreciate it, brother. Sir Gumby with the 50. Has Piss on Puker or this guy actually contributed anything substantial to Palestine? I mean, they raised some money for it, I guess. That's probably a good thing. I need $10 million for the Big Chungus Latina Guyot Repository Fund. Immediately, guys. It's urgent. True. Everybody donate all of your money to Yikes McGee. Empty those bank accounts, all right? We're changing the world. Now, this is a cause I can get behind, get the car. Hopefully, I will someday. We'll see. It's pretty expensive, to be honest. It's a lot of money to spend on a car, but maybe someday. Maybe someday. I got to keep investing first, I think. That's the way to go for now.
We're doing it.
This is weird, right? Like I said, doing charity is good, but why are you acting like you and a group of queers are going to bring about peace in the Middle East with a charity live stream? I hate to say it, but you're not going to save the world. You're a TikTok drama gossip channel. Like, look at this. TikTok trans influencer relationship drama. Brilliant. What?
But this is the thing, like these guys like him, like Cataclysm, they're delusional about the fact that their content is anything more than just making fucking YouTube videos, right? And it's not like there's never been a YouTube video that's existed that's been like, you know, talking about an important issue or like talking about something that should be talked about, exposing some situation that's not being talked about that is a matter of public interest should be talked about. It's okay. It's okay to make videos like that, and it can be a good thing. But like Louis McClung is not doing that. He's making fucking TikTok slop, and you have to have some self-awareness about it. Louis McClung, I mean, this is the nicest way possible, or perhaps the meanest way, because I hate you. You're not changing the world. You are not doing anything good with your platform. You are making entertainment for people to watch while they eat lunch or clean their room or crochet, and that's okay. It's okay to be that. That's a totally valid thing to be. You can just be an entertainer, but you're not an activist, and you're not doing anything important for the world. If that's your motivation for doing YouTube, give up. BWC Music, when you get the car, if I actually get that car, I will play that song right away, and I'll post a video. Tom A30, send diss to Palestine or I expose you, scammer. I'll do it right away, dude. I'm getting right on it. Palestine's upstairs making me lunch right now. Thank you, Stormy Gator, for becoming a member.
Why has this nose makeup become a thing? Why is there a trend for looking like you've gone out for a walk when it's cold and got sick?
Whoa! Whoa. Okay, yeah. I bet you were thinking for a second, Louis, why are you making this video? It seems so simple.
But this is Louis at his most...
The fake reactions are so bad, man. Why do you act like such a fucking freak? Nobody talks like this. Nobody in real life talks like this. Stop doing that.
Vapid. Because there's no space for him to virtue signal about men being bad. So why don't we look at Dave Grohl's relationship drama? So Dave Grohl had a child with someone outside of his marriage. Obviously, not knowing the full situation, but still, doesn't make Dave Grohl look like a good guy. But I guess to dispel any rumors, he makes this little statement, and Louis is very upset about that.
You have to give points where points is due because we are proprietors of human decency here. He was up front to an extent. He said outright before anything else happened that this is what he did. He had a child. He's going to be having a baby. He's going to be a father of another kid, so of 4, but one of them is under adultery, which honestly really sucks for that kid. But though he came out and said this, he didn't do it earlier for some reason.
Louis McClung, are you a member of Dave Grohl's family? Do you know him personally? Are you his son? Unless I'm missing something, Dave Grohl does not owe you an explanation for when he cheats on his fucking wife or his girlfriend or whatever. You don't fucking know him. Is cheating bad? No, it's base. No, obviously it's a bad thing to do. You shouldn't cheat on girls, okay? Or guys, okay? But it's not your problem. You don't know him. Why are you this personally invested in Dave Grohl? Just listen to Everlong and shut the fuck up. You don't know him. He doesn't have to post a public statement about this. He has no obligation to do that. Furthermore, let's say Dave Grohl, as a public figure, I'm assuming it is true that he cheated on his wife here, right? Let's say he comes and makes a big post like, I cheated on my wife and this is her name the day it happens, right? Is that going to make his wife feel good? Is that going to make the girl that he cheated with feel good? Is that going to reflect positively on the child in the future that he had a kid out of wedlock and he's bringing a bunch of public attention to it? No, that's going to make it worse. Because now the situation is blown up and a private situation that should have been kept private is now being talked about by millions of people. And that kid will forever be known as the bastard child of a rock star. That's not going to improve the fucking world. LS McClung, more like I dumped a big old Lewis out my bum and some dingleberries McClung to my gooch based. It's like this guy's entire worldview is not based on what is right or what would help. His worldview is based on what would like satiate Twitter freaks in a drama. It's not like, okay, what's the pragmatic approach to this? It's going to hurt the least amount of people possible and bring the truth out while also, diminishing the damage that's caused, right? It's, hey guys, you should just make a statement to appease retarded people on Twitter. That is what he thinks is the best thing to do. Heard you're really good at cock magic. That's true, I am.
Didn't say earlier when he first conceived the kid, to put it lightly.
So there's no good...
This does not need to be made public, though. Like, it's not your situation. You're not the child. You're not involved. I understand if you see that somebody you know cheats on someone, you're like, oh, that sucks. That's shitty. I can even understand if you see a YouTuber that you have a parasocial attachment to, you're like, oh, that sucks. That's shitty. But to demand that they make a public statement to you about their private relationship that does not concern you is fucking insane.
Outcome. Cheating is always bad, but what you're suggesting is immediately after he cheats, he should send out a message to all of his fan base that shouldn't have any investment in his personal life in the first place and be like, by the way, guys, I just cheated.
Yeah, fuck the wife, dude. She's the last person that needs to hear it. The first person that needs to hear it is the fucking Twitter followers who, like, pretend to like Everlong.
You know, my wife.
For TikTok dances.
Cleared it all up. And Lewis is really invested in making sure that Dave Grohl comes out as bad as possible in this video.
Dave Grohl has a history of being accused of cheating, actually. He happened to date a woman for about 1 year. Louise Post was a woman that Dave Grohl happened to date.
Listen to how mad he is.
A while ago. In about 1997, around that area.
Who cares about this random rock star sex life? I would expect him to cheat more, if anything, okay? He was in Nirvana. Let him cheat a little bit, okay? He did the drums on Smells Like Teen Spirit. Let him get some pussy out of wedlock.
And it just so happens that she also accused Dave Grohl of cheating on her.
Oh my god, stop the presses. A rock star was accused of cheating on someone 28 years ago. And I'm not sure if...
Wait till he finds out what Axl Rose did, dude.
If he tries to sensationalize stuff, or if words just fall out of his mouth when he's yapping.
We are to blame for the fallout, if you will. His daughters should not be fearing for their life by discarding their internet presence because of their father's actions that have nothing to do with that.
It's not the father's actions, though. It's that there's all these psychos on social media who are fucking harassing them because their dad did something that the public never needed to know about in the first place, Lewis. Yeah, actually, it's the kid's fault. Or sorry, actually, the fact that the kids are getting harassed is Dave Grohl's fault because there's sickos in the audience that harass them. Wow. Good take, dude. This guy just says shit. He just says bullshit and doesn't even think about it.
It sucks someone's family gets put in the spotlight in a situation like this. And it sucks there are slimy gossip channels like yourselves signal boosting it to a bunch of unhinged women.
His daughters should not be fearing for their life.
But Dave Grohl's kids are going to be fearing for their lives? Again, Matt Rife's audience are traumatized by a bad taste joke. He records so many of these. My theory is he actually just doesn't think about what he's saying. Like, there's this drama around Blake Lively. I don't care about any of this, to be honest. But Lewis made a video dragging this person, and it turns out he was wrong to do so.
Many videos came out. Tens of millions of views on all of them, including the views on mine. And I'm happy to announce that we were wrong. The reason I'm happy to announce this is because it is important for truth to be real. Yes, I was...
It's important for truth to be real? Dude, what the fuck are you saying? It's important for truth to be real. Write out your fucking videos beforehand. I thought you said you wrote them. It's important for truth to be real? Are you a human being?
Wrong, but there was a smear campaign happening. It is nobody's...
You contributed to it!
...fault, including mine, that...
It is your fault! It is your fault. You made a video when you didn't have the proper evidence. Again, you did it with Blake Lively. You did it with Dream. You did it with Danky Jabot. It is your fault. You are the smear campaign.
We were wrong.
It's not my...
What the fuck are you talking? What kind of participation award upbringing did you have that you think it's nobody's fault that you were wrong? It's your fault, you fucking dipshit. You made the video on YouTube.com. Holy shit. It's nobody's fault that we were wrong. It's nobody's fault that I made a horrible video. It's your fault. It is your fault. What is wrong with you?
My fault that I made a video signal boosting false information. What kind of an insane attitude to have is that? And obviously, with his fan base, you can imagine he's going through it a bit.
People are just blatantly calling me a terrible person. They're calling a lot of people on the internet a terrible person. I've gone through videos from about 4 months ago now talking about the situation, saying, hey, you're just a content farmer. You are a content farmer. You pretend to care about these situations, and what you actually do is you cobble together a bunch of unrelated dots, you connect them, you connect this fucking bullshit evidence, and make videos where you make accusations about real people with real lives, and you fucking slander them to the public, to hundreds of thousands of people, and then you refuse to take responsibility for it and act like it was never your fault in the first place. Yes. Actually, it is your fault. You are a terrible person. Give up. You blame Dream for not accepting responsibility? What an amazing example of projection. When you look up projection in the dictionary, you should be what comes up. It's not my fault that I made a slanderous video. Then whose fucking fault is it, you retard? Get up, SSRIs. Feed off hate. That's all you want. You're just making this. You haven't responded yet. You're just making content to make content. I mean, what do you want me to do? Not jump on a situation and not talk about it because that's my job?
Yeah.
Yes! Yes! Not every commentary YouTuber is falsely calling people rapists and pedophiles all the time and saying they defend guys who beat women. Yes! Your job is to not do that, you fucking ingrate. What is wrong with you?
Yes. Yes, actually. Don't just jump on a drama and talk about...
Just wait! Or make an impartial video where you don't jump to a conclusion and jump down someone's fucking throat. These are real lives you're playing with. These are people's reputations you're talking out of your fucking ass about for money on YouTube. The least you can do is do the fucking research ahead of time. You lazy, slimy, fucking fairy. Oh my God.
Out it for 25 minutes plus to keep up with your bi-weekly upload schedule when you don't have all the information on the topic. I thought Lewis would just be a funny, stupid guy to just have a bit of a laugh at, but I think having this mentality that you're this virtuous guy doing this all for good, but all you do is repeat gossip and sensationalize other people's stories, he's just TMZ in an effeminate pirate's clothing. And he obviously in no way learned his lesson because he has now inserted himself into Danky Jabot's drama. So Danky Jabot is the same.
Okay, I think we already went over that pretty well. How is this a real guy? How is this a real person? What is wrong with you? Dude, you just lie with impunity and then you're like, well, it's not my fault. What, am I supposed to not jump to conclusions and make accusations about people? Yeah, actually. Yes. Yes, you're actually supposed to not jump to conclusions about people. That's correct. You're supposed to wait until you have the proper evidence before you make a fucking conclusion about someone's life you know nothing about, outside of a few TikToks and screenshots. All you do is repeat what other fucking retards like you say on TikTok and then pander to the dumbass women and non-binary people in your audience. Quit! 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 Give up! Give up! Delete your channel! Now! Please, dude. Holy fuck. Literally the worst commentary channel of all time. Unironically. The worst, dude. Yeah. I've never seen something so bad in my life. I don't think I've seen a worse commentary channel. The worst part about it is he'll make a false allegation. He'll be like, what, you expect me not to do that? That's my job. And it's like, well, maybe you should have a different fucking job, dude. Maybe you shouldn't be a YouTuber. Your videos suck. Your editing is bad. Your jokes are unfunny. Your scripts are bad. Your research is bad. Everything about it, trash. Complete schlock. Unredeeming. Holy fuck, dude. Please just quit. For the love of God. All right. That's about all I got to say for today. Thanks for watching. Become a member if you want to see the VODs. Subscribe to all the channels, Turkey Tom, Tom Dark Live, Tom IRL. The latest Turkey Tom video was a banger, by the way, about Mr. Based. Highly recommend it. And I'll see you all next time. All right?
Everybody sing along with me. Doesn't matter how many SBCC. That's the mystical, massive, great white D. Put your hands